Decepticons, a toast to the imminent destruction of the accursed Autobots.
Boy, these are good.
This stuff's the greatest. Those were the good old days back on Cybertron. Didn't have to sneak around in these ugly Earth disguises. Ghetto Cybertron, land of the metal moon.
All right, we are back for another draw stream, obviously. See, no one's in the chat so far, so I guess we'll just get started. Obviously, today we're doing Clayface. You know, like the last stream, you know this, so or follow my Twitter. But yeah, so obviously, I kind of based this one off of the animated series a little bit, which, by the way, I need to pull up some reference because he's got a weird sort of brownish orange to his clay. So gonna have to try and get that as right as possible. So, but obviously, it's kind of got my own style to it, but it's very much inspired by the animated series. So what I'm gonna try and do is, I think the way I'm gonna go about it is I'm gonna use start with some yellow, start with an orange, and build up to the browns and stuff like that. That's kind of how I think this will work the best. So yeah, I'm going to start with a YR21, which is kind of like an orangey yellow. So now, obviously, I put him in a originally didn't really have a background for it. So I decided, let's throw in a background, but I kind of was like, well, what would make the most sense for Clayface? And so I thought, let's throw him into like a theater type background. I think that works because it works for this pose here. And for the character, because he, depending on the version, I think there's like multiple versions of Clayface. So, but the more common one is the actor. So, because in the animated series it was Matt Hagen, but I think in the comics it was Basil Carlo who was the Clayface. That was the what's it called? Actor. So yeah, really interesting character, really fun design. So I'm going to remove this guy over here. There we go. That way I'm not knocking shit over. All right. So obviously put a poll in the chat, for like always. So went for some of the more obscure villains this time around. Which I will be doing more obscure villains tomorrow, actually, or not tomorrow, on the 23rd, which will be, I think, Thursday or Friday. I think it's Thursday. Yeah, it should be Thursday. And tomorrow I will actually be doing a quick game stream tomorrow, just to kind of test things out, see if I like using StreamYards, and if not, I'll have to see about using OBS, but I don't know how to use it. It's kind of so I have to learn that, over the course of a couple of weeks or so, because I want to look up a bunch of videos and stuff, because the program is really confusing for me. It's very slow. It runs really slow on my computer because my computer is just not really built for that kind of thing. I'm gonna quickly tweet out the stream or share it with my group. That way, peeps can know what's up. So, should be. Come on, Twitter. Stop being slow. Thank you. All right. Let's go back to StreamYard. All right. So let's continue the arm, then we'll move on to the body and whatnot. Great thing about Clayface is that he's only one color, so don't have to worry about being too careful in certain areas. Right now, I'm kind of just like filling out the areas, anyways. With the very light yellow shade to it. So. Okay. Trying to leave some like little white highlight areas sometimes. Just because you don't want it to be a completely solid color. Because there would be not just that, it'd be probably like lights shining down on him because of the he's in like a theater type area, so you don't want to make him too brown. You want to have some highlights here and there. All right. Okay. And so tomorrow we're probably going to play some Splitgate because that would. So if I do the draw stream or the game stream, if it works out, I'll play a little bit of Splitgate for probably about an hour or so tomorrow. So I might go out later tomorrow, do some shopping for some peeps, or just chill, just hang out with the fam. Was playing a little bit earlier. Lots of campers today, so A lot of campers, a lot of group campers in that game. It's really annoying. That's the worst when they all group together in like a corner of the map. It's just like, oh, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? It's like, yeah. Luckily, in the individual fights, I was kicking their ass. So. All right, kind of does it for the first layer. Yeah. Here, I'm just gonna do a quick test off to the side. This is always a good idea to have an extra sheet of paper when you're using colors and stuff. You just want to make sure you test out the colors and make sure they're working properly before you lay anything down. Oops, wrong side. Yeah, that should be a good color to use. And I think he has yellow eyes and yellow teeth, so. So right now I'm using the Y35. I'll try to announce which markers I'm using for anyone who's interested, because I find it to be a very useful thing. Yeah, I found that very useful in a lot of the Copic videos I've watched. So I'll try to I'll try to announce it whenever I can, if I can remember. I imagine he'd be a bit more brightly colored because of the lights in the theater. So that's why I'm using a bit brighter colors right now. And I just like when the villain just lit it up. You know, it's really cool. It's a really cool image. And he has a very like yellowy, orangey, sort of brown on his clay. At least in the animated series. Obviously, the comics probably did some other things with it, but I'm an animated series guy because to me that's like just the ultimate Batman. Pretty much spot on Batman in that cartoon. So. So I don't know how long it'll be going for because I don't know if this will take me that long. So probably about 2 or 3 hours. So I do need to jump off and play some games with Mawa later around 6 o'clock. So that's like 3 hours from now on my end. So, or well, when she goes live, I think she's at like 8. I think she's like at 8 o'clock when she goes live on her side. But on my end, it's 6 o'clock. So yeah. So she's a 2 days into the future, or 2 hours into the future for me. All right. I'm guessing most people are probably on the La Reina channel. Okay. I kind of noticed that I was like, oh shit, I'm going to lose a lot of viewership if I stream there now. So, but I was like, it was already kind of planned, and so like, yeah, whatever. People come. Yeah, I don't really care that much if people don't or show up. It's just, yeah. Probably should have gone a little bit earlier, but oh well. right. I'll probably retweet the stream out or the just to get more eyes here. Yeah, I might need to get some refills next time I go to the art store, which I'll probably go this probably next week on Monday or something. Just want to get the. I'll probably just go when the Christmas week is all done, all squared off. Because I don't really like shopping when. I just don't like it when it's busy. I don't like crowds and shit. It's annoying. All right. Okay, so we need to start a little bit of a transition into the orange. So I think we're going to use YR23. It's kind of a. Actually, that might. Yeah. I really like this brown. Looks really good for the yellow. I'm thinking of using gold, actually. I might use a gold. I think that might work a little bit better. For like some of the darker areas and stuff. Actually, this is looking good. Yeah, Clayface is actually a lot harder of a character to kind of draw, actually, kind of map out logically. Or at least his head. It was kind of a challenge to get the head right. But I feel like I nailed the look pretty well. So at least Twitter thinks so, because this one blew up a lot when I showed off the inks for this and stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh shit!" So I must be doing something right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll retweet it in about 30 minutes. I think this guy needs a refill soon. Probably should get some more replacement nibs as well. Some of my pens are kind of growing weak. Yeah. And right now I'm using a YR31 for those interested. Just kind of setting a little bit more vibrance to the color, or a bit of the yellowy, just to kind of blend all the other colors together, and then we'll move on to a more orangey color. Although I don't know, I might try something different. I'm really liking the way the brown is starting to form here. So might whip out the gold actually. Yeah, it should be really useful around here. Just for like the shadows and whatnot. I'm just going to zoom out more. I can show you the whole thing. Let's get the face. Okay. Let's get need to get more light browns. That's what I need. Last time I go. We got plenty of dark browns, but I think we need more light ones. I don't know if that will work. Hold on. Nope, too dark. Like I said, I don't want the brown to be too dark because it's kind of a very bright sort of brown. It's kind of a weird shade of it. So. Maybe the gold, be what we're using. Hold on. What the fuck are you doing? Okay. Oh, someone voted for Lady Shiva. She's already kicking everyone's ass. We gotta do Lady Shiva one day. We really gotta do. I really love. Well, I think Grumpy kind of suggested I do Electra versus Lady Shiva, so I might do that one actually. That'll be a lot of fun. YR2. Let me go to this one. I'll use this. Yeah, I think it's a good one to use here. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, fuck. I just. I think I just ended the poll by accident. Hold on. Favorite Batman. Hold on. My bad. All right, Lady Shiva. Good shot. You know, Lady Shiva just beat their asses so bad, she literally ended the poll. Anarchy. Firefly. All right. New poll. I think my phone needs a new charger, or a cord rather. It's kind of, that just unplugs really easily. Doesn't really connect very well. Let's get a new one soon. No, I think the key will be to just blend sort of the orange and yellows together. I think that's what we'll be doing here. Then maybe add like another earth tone on top of it. That's what will be the best way to go about this guy. Granted, he's Clayface, so we can make his form look like anything, so it doesn't really matter what color he is now, is it? Hey, Grumpy. How you doing, man? Yeah. I accidentally ended the first poll by accident because I accidentally pressed the wrong button. But that's just because Lady Shiva is just that powerful, dude. Like, she just punched all these villains so hard that it ended the poll. But how are you doing, man? Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm trying to go for something very similar to like the animated series, the way his colors look there. So I'm going for like an orangey, yellowy, sort of brown right now. So what I'm doing is I'm starting from like the yellows and oranges and start kind of working my way up like that. Yeah, it's very yeah. I think I posted this a while ago. I think I posted it in a group chat, but I kind of showed off. I added the background to it. Just because I kind of felt like it was a little plain, and I kind of wanted to make things. And so I decided, I put him in more of a theater type background because that's kind of you win the poll. Yeah. Well, I put up a new poll, so yeah. So that everyone else can get a chance to fight for their favorite character, which I went for more obscure characters for this poll, just because. But yeah, so I kind of based this one off of the character, or at least the more famous version of the character. Obviously, the characters had multiple identities over the years. There have been multiple Clayfaces, so. But I went for the more common version, which is kind of like the Matt Hagen, Basil Carlo one, which I think in the animated series it was Matt Hagen, but in the comics it was Basil Carlo. At least the one that had the what's it called? The actor background. So, and I can't remember the other origin. I think one of them was a cop. At least in the Batman cartoon, there was one that was a cop, or who's kind of like an anti-hero or something like that. In the yeah, that'd be awesome. I actually really want to do a Scarecrow as well now that I think about it. I really want to do a Scarecrow. I think it's a villain that's gonna be a lot of fun to do. I'm thinking of going for like a very like really creepy. He's gonna have the sigh. He's gonna have that. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go. I think I'll go for more of the Scarecrow look, not so much the Arkham look. Which I mean, I like the Arkham Origin, Arkham Knight look for him, but I kind of want to go for more of an actual like Scarecrow type look, like the animated series a little bit. Kind of like a mix of the animated series, like from the first 3 seasons, and then the kind of the new Adventures of Batman Scarecrow when we had a bit more darker of a costume. I think I'm going to go for kind of like a mix of those two versions. Because that design was fucking creepy as hell. That was a really good design in the New Adventures of Batman. That was a really, really cool one. But also kind of like, keeping the Scarecrow theme intact with it. Matt Hagen, the Batman had, well, they had I think they had 2 Clayfaces in the Batman cartoon, didn't they? I think they had, because I remember there was one episode where I think they had Basil, because I think Basil Carlo was in the animated in the Batman, but in the animated series it was Matt Hagen. So, but I can't remember for sure. I haven't seen the Batman in so long, so. Yeah, it's a really cool villain though. He's a really cool power. It's really interesting because it's like, it's because he makes for a really good like detective story, because it's like, how do you fight someone who can just turn into anyone? Someone who can't really lead. You have to really it's like a character that Batman has to really like think about and really carefully approach, depending on the circumstances. And he's very powerful too. He's very strong, and he can definitely put up a fight and stuff. So. So both an intellectual and a physical threat for Batman, which is always a cool thing. Kind of like Bane. He's kind of, because Bane's very much someone who can outsmart Batman, but could also hold his own in a fight with him. Yeah. When I do it, I'm going to try to blend the first look of the Scarecrow with the beady eyes later version of this. Yeah. The size definitely got to be there. I was really disappointed in the movie design in Batman Begins, where they kind of just made him a guy in a suit with a mask. It's like, and the mask looks kind of good, okay, but I don't know. I would have preferred, but like, I want to see a Scarecrow. I want to see the hat. I want to see the sigh. I want to see the noose around his neck. All that stuff. But obviously, Batman Begins, the Nolan films are obviously going for that more realism angle, which how I feel about that, because it's kind of pointless, because it's superheroes. If you want a real story, just tell a real story. This is comic book characters. These are fantasy characters. And they should be treated like that. They shouldn't try to do anything else other than be the characters they are in the comics. Hey, Brett, how you doing? A cop named Ethan and someone else at their big finale. They melded together to become a giant. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to. Yeah, I couldn't remember because I haven't watched this show in a while. But yeah, I think I remember something like that where there's like 2 different Clayfaces fighting each other or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, there's a gray one. There's a gray one, and then there's kind of like the more traditional brown orange one, I think. So. All right. And hey, Riot Kitty. Oh. So yeah, what else to talk about? But yeah, like I was saying, Clayface makes a really good like villain for like Batman because it's kind of a not just because of the physical or the detective aspect, but it kind of represents an element to Batman's character. The the persona, like because a lot of the villains are very much like an exaggeration, or they sort of represent an aspect of Batman's character, to taken to the worst extreme possible. Where he's someone who's kind of lost his mind to like the persona and whatnot, or where because you have Batman who has to play up the Bruce Wayne playboy persona, so it's kind of a really interesting sort of take on that. Yeah, the great one was Ethan. He was a cop. Yeah, the other one was Basil Carlo. I think that's what his name was. Yeah, they kind of get confusing because it's like the animated series had Matt Hagen, but I think in the comics, Matt Hagen was someone else, or he had a different backstory, I think. And in the comics, it was Basil Carlo who was the actor, but I'm not too sure about what Matt Hagen's backstory was in the comics. So. Couldn't remember, so I think that kind of creates a lot of confusion with some people because like they had Basil Carlo in the Arkham games as well, and he was the actor version of Clayface. So. Later, Grumpy. Hope you have a good one. Good rest of your day. I'll probably be going for another, probably about 2 hours, an hour and a half, something like that. Because I need to jump on to some place in Splitgate a little bit later because I'll be playing with Mala. All right. I think this pen needs some refills, so I just pull this guy out. Just to sort of blend some of the colors in together. All right. Also kind of leaving some like little highlights here and there. Just because it's in if it's in a theater type area, there's gonna be a lot of light, reflection going on with them. So. All right. Let's find let's get an orange going. Let's get, what is this one? Or do we use this guy? kind of want to go for a lighter orange. Yeah. We use the YR04 for those who are trying to want to know which colors I'm using. So I'll try to name off as I go. So okay. All right, I'm starting to like the way the clay on Clayface is starting to shape up. I don't know if I'll actually need any of the browns. I mean, unless for like some of the shadows here and there. But I'll probably just use like warm grays for that. So I think that'll look good. All right. Ooh. Someone's tying up the. Oh, someone's putting. Yeah. All right. Firefly has got some love now. That's pretty cool. Firefly's an interesting villain. I just might have to draw him at some point. He had a really cool design in the Batman cartoon. I thought it was really cool. I like the black and the yellow. I think that looked really good on him. Wasn't really a fan of his design in the anime. It was kind of plain. He's in a very boring gray suit. I like the black and yellow a little more. Yeah, he had a fucking really crazy boss battle in the Arkham game, the Arkham Origins game. I really liked that boss battle. It was really fun. Where I disabled the bombs on the bridge and whatnot. That was a lot of fun. Firefly would make an interesting villain though for a movie if they ever did him. Hey, Dan Blackroyd. Or Blake. Yeah, Firefly's really underrated. Yeah. Oh, the Batman. Yeah, the Batman's pretty good. It was a pretty good series. I really enjoyed that. I didn't really like there's like some moments I didn't like, but I thought it was really like compared to now, like what we get nowadays, I think it's really, really solid. But yeah, there's a lot of like really, really interesting episodes in that. Well, some of the designs are kind of meh. But I thought Croc had a really interesting design. I thought he had a really, really good design in that show. And I think they did a really good job with Robin and getting his origin pretty well done. So. Although I think they made it so that it was Barbara Gordon who becomes Batgirl before Dick Grayson became Robin, which is not really supposed to happen. It's supposed to, Robin should always be his first sidekick. That's what I didn't like about the new Telltale games where they made that. I think it was Fox's daughter. Yeah, they made her kind of an anti-hero who, if you depending on your choices in the game, she either becomes a villain or she becomes your first sidekick, and it's not really what should happen. Dick Grayson should always be Batman's first partner. It's also what I didn't really like about the Beware the Batman show, which I enjoyed parts of that show, but to me, it's like it should always be Dick Grayson as his first partner instead of the Katana in that show. Detail. Yeah, I like the design in the Arkham Origins game for Firefly. He had a really interesting design. Design. It's where it's kind of a Clock King origin story. The guy who works in the watch store. Yeah, that was a really interesting episode. That was a really, really cool one. That was a really interesting take on the Clock King, actually. And I like the Dracula movie they did. That was a really cool one as well. Yeah, I mean, I like the Green Lantern animated series. I think it worked better for the Green Lantern show because of all the constructs and stuff. But yeah, I would have preferred a more a 3D or a 2D animation for Green Lantern as well. But because Batman looks a lot better in 2D animation, I feel like he looks a lot cooler, looks a lot more mysterious and whatnot. Like it just works better for that character. Now, obviously, but I mean, I think it worked decently for Green Lantern, obviously because of the constructs, and he's not a character that relies on shadows, and it's easier to and looks just looks better in shadow when when it's actually drawn by the animators and stuff. So. But yeah, Beware the Batman was not a terrible show. It had some good ideas and I think I mentioned this before on the last stream I did, where I like the idea that they were actually using more of the obscure villains, the lesser known villains. I thought it was really interesting because it'd be cool to see some more villains other than just the Joker or Two-Face, or Riddler all the time. It'd be kind of cool to see them use more of the obscure villains. But they eventually did bring in some of the more recognizable characters. Like they brought in Man-Bat at one point. They brought in Two-Face. They brought in Deathstroke, Killer Croc, and I think Metamorpho. But he's a bit more lesser known. But he's not really a villain. He's more of a hero. I think he was part of the Outsiders for a while in the comics, and in the Justice League in the Justice League cartoon and stuff like that. So. Yeah, they use a lot of lesser known villains like Lady Shiva, Silver Monkey. I think they brought in Professor Pig was one of them. Anarchy. Was it Mr. Toad or whatever that guy's name? Like the Toad, the frog person or whatever. So I mean, I like that aspect of it. They brought in a Ra's al Ghul as well later on in the series, I think. So yeah, they had a lot of good ideas, but I just feel like the execution of them was not really the best. Yeah, I actually did like the green. I think for the Green Lantern it works, the 3D animation, because obviously because of the constructs, but also because Green Lantern's a much more brighter character, so the animation style kind of lends itself a little bit better to him. So. Look too clean. Yeah. Like it doesn't really make sense, because it's supposed to be very gothic and very dirty and grungy and whatnot. So. Also, wasn't really a big fan of the overall design for Batman in that show. Just looked really off, Yeah, I would have loved it, but sadly, because I think the movie kind of messed with like the toy sales or whatever, because the Green Lantern movie was not received very well at all, and for good reason. Which I mean, granted, there's some parts of the Green Lantern movie I liked, but they just got a lot of fundamentals wrong. I just didn't really like Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. I just don't think he was the right fit for that role. Like I could see him more as like a Barry Allen type character, but not really Hal Jordan. Just didn't really have the same sort of personality, the same sort of charisma that Hal Jordan's supposed to have in the comics. Like, I mean, Ryan Reynolds has charisma, but he's not. It's kind of a different sort of a charisma. Hey, Jacob, how you doing, man? But yeah, it's not really the same sort of charisma that Hal Jordan has, you know. Yeah, I think that Ryan Reynolds would have been better suited if he was to do DC characters. I think he'd be a better Flash or something like that. But obviously, everyone loves him as Deadpool, and I do too. So I think that's kind of the best role for him. It's a comic book movie, but I would have liked someone like Nathan Fillion to play him in live action. I think that he's like the best fit for. He's already voiced the character multiple times in like some of the cartoons and stuff. So he's already got that going for him. I think he voiced him in the Emerald Knights movie, which I actually watched the other day when I was doing some drawing some Green Lantern, which I might show off. I might show off the pencils for. I haven't really been working on it for a little bit. Just been busy with other things, but no, I think I showed off. Yeah, I think I showed off the Green Lantern a little bit earlier, or a couple days ago. So. Yeah, the less said about them that movie, the better. Yeah, I mean, there's some good things about it, but they got stuff like Parallax wrong. They got Carol. Yeah, Carol was okay in that movie, I guess. I don't know. Sinestro was okay. I like Mark Strong as Sinestro. Some of the lanterns look cool. I would have changed up Kilowog's design a little bit in that movie, though. It looked a little. Didn't really look a whole lot like Kilowog. He's supposed to be like kind of a hippo or a little bit like a pig type of thing going on. But I don't know. Toma Ray was okay. I think a lot of the stuff on Oa was pretty good. The Guardians. Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of the design, but yeah, they got them pretty. It's pretty much the Guardians from the comics. Kind of very emotionally distant, characters. They're very withdrawn and whatnot. So, but yeah, like I said, the costume looked off. Ryan Reynolds just wasn't really Hal Jordan to me. But I really loved the Green Lantern animated series that they did. I really felt like they really nailed the universe and the tone that a Green Lantern show should have. It shouldn't be like Batman where it's like all dark and gritty and stuff. It's like no, Green Lantern's a fun and exciting franchise. And that's kind of how they're. And I think that's kind of what they're going for with the HBO Max series that's coming out. Because I think they came out and said like that was going to be a lot darker and a lot grimmer, which. It's like Green Lantern's not really. I mean, you can have. I mean, there's been darker storylines and really dark storylines with Green Lantern and stuff like that, but that's not really the purpose the Green Lantern characters serve. They're sources of light in the dark universe. They shine a light on the darkness, and that's what they're kind of meant for. That's kind of like their purpose in that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but they're. It shouldn't, and it shouldn't be like a very dark show because they're space cops. There should be a lot more fun, a lot more exciting and whatnot. Deadshot's kicking some ass now. Yeah. Well, he's tied with Firefly right now, so they're making a comeback on Lady Shiva. Yeah, Deadshot's a pretty good character. Pretty good villain as well. Yeah, Mark Strong was really good as Sinestro. I think he nailed the character fairly well. I think they got Nathan Fillion in the new Suicide Squad movie, didn't they? That's just stupid. Like he's like playing some other loser character, and it's just like that guy should be fucking playing Hal Jordan in the movies. Like, and Idris Elba, he should be playing Jon Stewart. Like, what is he doing playing some Bloodsport guy? That Bloodsport guy. I mean, he'd be he's perfect for like Jon Stewart. You know. I don't know. Yeah, Lady Shiva is a great villain. Yeah. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? But yeah, back to the Green Lantern animated series. I thought they did a really solid job with the characterization of Hal Jordan and a lot of his relationship with Kilowog. He was hilarious in that show. He had a lot of really funny lines. I really love the banner between him and Hal. And Razor was a good character. I think it was a new character that they created for the show, and her and Aya had a really interesting story. They got it. I kind of mentioned this on the last week, but I didn't really get to talk about it too much. But they kind of they did a really good job with the Red Lanterns when they did them. I just feel like they got the sort of the way they are. Their methodology is kind of more what they didn't really get right. Where they're because originally they're more like the Punisher. They're like seeking vengeance on those who would do like they basically go around and they kill those who killed innocents and stuff like that, and they punish them like the Punisher would, but in more brutal ways because they have power rings and whatnot. So oh yeah, Gotham Knights, the animated movie. Yeah, I actually really like that animated movie. That was a really good one. I think it's a very underrated one where it's kind of like this one of those things where it's kind of there's multiple it's like kind of like a collection of different like shorts from the different like artists and different animators and stuff like that, and so they had like multiple like different like storylines. Like I think I had like 6 in total, and yeah, I like the Deadshot one that they did. And they did another one that I really liked, which is called, I think it was called Inferno or something like that. Where it's about 2 cops going to what's kind of like an Arkham City type of environment and stuff like that. And Batman's like comes in and saves them, like, and where they did Batman, that was just fucking awesome. They really embraced sort of the otherworldly sort of aspect of the character that he's trying to evoke, like that creature of the night persona that he's really trying to evoke. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I love the Red Lanterns in the comics, and so, but they kind of got they got the basic idea for the Red Lanterns right in the cartoon. It's just kind of the way they were militarized, and they were they're kind of like conquerors and stuff like that, which wasn't really the case in the comics. They were more about they kind of had a benevolent sort of idea of justice, but they just it was very corrupted by their rage and whatnot. They were trying to seek vengeance towards victims and stuff like that. And they kind of explored this a lot more in the New 52 run, which was a pretty good run. Yeah. And my thoughts about the New 52. I'm not a big fan of it, so. But the Red Lantern books were pretty good. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed those ones. Aside from when they made Supergirl Red Lantern, I thought it was really stupid. I didn't like that. It's like, no, Supergirl would never be a Red Lantern. I don't think she would ever be a Red Lantern at all. But ooh, yeah, probably. But in terms of their backstory, they got it pretty much nailed down with the characterization of the Red Lanterns in that show. And I actually was liking the way they were sort of setting up Sinestro's arc, in that they were really setting up this idea that of having him and like, I like the friendship between him and Hal, where it's like Hal Jordan actually really like admires the guy and stuff like that, and Kilowog's very suspicious of him, and it was just really interesting how they did that. And I liked how, at the end of the episode, in the Sinestro episode, the way they were sort of hinting at there being like the future like rivalry. You kind of see where it's going to go from here. But sadly, the show didn't get to continue because Cartoon Network is SO. But there's a lot of characters they didn't really get to do, like Indigo 1 and the Indigo Lanterns would have been really cool. I think they're a very underrated Lantern Corps in the mythology. It's their rings, the way their rings work is really interesting to me. Yeah, I didn't understand like how Supergirl would be one with rage. I mean, she's a little bit angsty, not really angsty, but she's a little bit. But I mean, like she's the furthest thing from a rage inducing someone who's gonna be motivated by revenge. That's really what the Lantern rings are. They're not so much mood rings because it's like, well, because that's kind of what they did with the Green Lantern's book when they did the Phantom Lantern, where it's kind of like a mood ring, where it's like if you were feeling fearful, you turn to a Yellow Lantern, or if you're feeling rage, you turn to a Red Lantern with that ring. But the way the rings kind of work, which Ethan Van Sciver actually kind of touched on this, it's not so much powered by the emotion, but it's kind of like the motivation. What you're motivated by, what emotion motivates you the most. Or what emotion like strongly motivates you the most. That's kind of how it works, and it kind of makes more sense that way, because it's like how Jordan has experienced rage before but never becomes a Red Lantern, or he loses the Green Ring because his primary strength is in his willpower, and that's where his true motivations lie. I watched the first season and I tried powering through the second season, but I just couldn't get into it. It was just getting weird. It's some weird stuff. And honestly, I was only watching it for Martian Manhunter. But I mean, that Martian Manhunter reveal episode was pretty cool in the first season, but I don't know. It just kind of became boring after a while. The show just got really boring. I mean, it was cool in the first couple episodes they brought in Superman in season 2, but after that, it was just kind of meh. Got very woke and whatnot. Just didn't really care for anything that was going on with it. Cartoon Network sucks balls because they canceled a lot of great shows. A lot of great shows canceled. But I've not seen the Stargirl series. I've heard it's good. I've heard some good things about the Stargirl series, but I don't know. I've kind of divorced myself from DC on TV since I think it was the Flash. Yeah, it was Flash season 3 where I kind of just gave up on them. Just couldn't get into it anymore. I was just like, I'm done. Mostly because they were kind of sidelined. Because I didn't like the Barry and Iris relationship. I thought it was weird the way they set that up. Yeah, where they're kind of like basically brother or sister type thing. I was just like, no, we're not really related, but they were kind of adoptive, like siblings. I just thought that was weird. And then they started to develop feelings. Like, no, it's like that's weird. And I can kind of understand maybe, like, because they really like the relationship. Because I really do like the relationship between him and Joe, but I feel like you could have done that without, like, you could have had him be just another cop or whatever, who was close to his family or whatever, instead of it being Iris's dad or something like that. I think they could have done something different like that to make. Because I do like the relationship between him. I think it's probably the strongest part of the series. Actually, is the relationship Barry has with Joe. At least in my opinion, but yeah, I don't just got really boring to me. It's kind of just repeated storylines as well, like repeated ideas. Well, hey, Lord Haster, how you doing, man? I have not seen the Superman and Lois show, so I don't really have any thoughts on it. I mean, I've seen parts of it because I've watched Minority Home. For a watch party, because that's the only way I'm ever gonna watch anything DCCW is if it's someone else watching it for me, or if it's just like, because I do like to support my friends here. So But yeah, I have not watched an episode. You know, aside from a few episodes I've seen when I've watched Steph's walk or not walkthrough or watch parties of them. So I'm not really keen on watching it anyways because it's just like it really just doesn't really feel like Superman to me. Yeah, it is some things that are kind of good, but then it's just like we have to take into account that it's just in the same universe as the Supergirl show or whatever. So it's just like, no thanks. It's like I'll take my Superman the animated series over this any day. So perfectly content with that series. All right, I'm starting to like the way this is turning around, so I might be able to. I'll probably add another shade of yellow just to kind of blend some areas. Oh, Doom Patrol got woke. God damn it. Yeah. Ooh. See a proper animated adaptation based on the actual. Okay, yeah. I have never read the Young Justice comics, so I wouldn't really know. I was more of a, I prefer the more classic at least the cartoon Teen Titans. But yeah, I think that. But I did think that I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Young Justice cartoon. It was okay. It was okay, but at least the first two seasons. Season 3, didn't care about it. Season 4, I have not seen because I didn't like the third season. So, but I would like to see in a perfect world where everything isn't woke or everything isn't based in politics or based in the idea of that we need to deconstruct everything. In a perfect world, I would love to see a Teen Titans movie or a cartoon or something like that, like a newer one. I would have loved to see the original Teen Titans cartoon continued. There's a lot of stuff that they could have done. They could have brought in Don Troy. They could have brought in Superboy. There's a lot of things they could have done with that show moving forward. I could definitely see them. They could do multiple seasons going forward, but because they could have done some more stuff with Starfire. They didn't really do a whole lot with her character, or at least because like every season kind of had, destroys everything. Superman. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they didn't really. But every season of Teen Titans, they kind of one season kind of focused a little bit more on one character. Like the first season, I think was more focused on Robin. Then after that, it was Tara. I think that was Tara's. I think that season was more focused on Tara. Then it was Cyborg, and then Raven, and then Beast Boy was like kind of like the because each season kind of like focused on one of the Titans more so than the others. But Starfire didn't really have as many storylines that are based around her, aside from a couple like the ones with Blackfire in them. But I would like to see more done with that, like where they could go for they do more exploring on. They could do more storylines on Tamaran or stuff like that, or follow up on the Red X storyline. And there's a lot of stuff they could have done. You're saying the artist didn't become Stargirl. Okay. As soon as I saw the Teen Titans cartoons, I mean, there's some things. I mean, some costumes were okay. I think the Hawk and Dove looked okay. Robin looked okay, but like Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, they looked really off. But I was just kind of tuned out of that show because I just didn't like the darker tones that they were going for. Like Teen Titans shouldn't be dark. Like it's Teen Titans. It's the sidekicks. They shouldn't be a darker team. They should be. I mean, the Justice League themselves shouldn't be that dark, But obviously you can have darker themes and stuff like that. But it's just like these are superheroes, all right? Like, let's have some fun. Like, let's not make everything dark. Not everything in the DC universe has to be like Batman. 425. I am getting Oh, that's good to hear, Grumpy. Hope you're doing better. Hope you get better. How long is forever? Yeah, that was a really good episode, actually. That was a really good one. One where they showed Nightwing and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be cool if they actually, and they could have continue that storyline where it's like you have actually, Dick Grayson actually become Nightwing, and then you can have Jason Todd come into the show, or Tim Drake or whatever, and go about doing that. There's a lot of things they could have done. Like they could have brought in different Wonder Girls, like you brought in Cassie Sandsmark, I think, and Miss Martian, could have been in the old Titans cartoon. There's a lot of characters they could have used and stuff. I think Deathstroke was kind of teased, or I think, did Deathstroke die? I can't remember if he died or if he was kind of like on the loose or something like that. So I think, there's the last episode they had Deathstroke, one of Deathstroke's like robots or whatever, taunting Beast Boy. So he's probably still. So I think he's still out there. And my favorite, and Teen Titans, my second favorite. Yeah. I think I prefer the original Titans show over the Young Justice show, but Young Justice was pretty decent though. It had some really good ideas and really good stuff going for it. Well, they also could have brought in Ravager, Rose Wilson, for the show, and Grant Wilson, some of Slade's children. Yeah, that'd been really. There's a lot they could have done with the Titans show. All right, I think that's pretty good so far. I think it's just pull out some warm grays and add some shadows in, then we'll get started on the background, which I'm going to do probably darker red for the back sort of curtain or whatever, and then a lighter shade for the front, and then probably like a dark brown for the stand here. Or not a stand, whatever it's called. That should be good. That is massive. My tree is somehow. Oh, yeah. We don't really have a room for a Christmas tree where I'm at. So. Yeah, I would have loved like a season 6. They could do a couple seasons actually. Probably there's a lot of characters they could have used. And definitely would have benefited a little bit more because the finale for season 5 was kind of very anticlimactic. It was very moody, very you just didn't really feel like what the ending should have been for that show. Or no, I think that they did the animated movie where they go to Tokyo, but that's kind of like that only. That movie only really wrapped up the romantic subplot with Robin and Starfire. Also, would like to see them bring in more DC heroes, like not just sidekick heroes, but like Batman would be cool, Superman, Flash, because they had Wally actually appeared in the season 2. Yeah. Should have run for 7 seasons, but gotcha. Never really read the Young Justice comics, so I wouldn't really know what that's all about. Yeah. 7. Futures of the actual Aliens comic. Okay, yeah. I might have checked that out, actually. Yeah, I like the Trouble in Tokyo anime movie, but I kind of felt like they could have been. I don't know. I just didn't really feel like that was like a really solid conclusion to the show. I think they could have been a bit more, just to kind of wrap that up a bit more, because there's a lot of like subplots that they kind of left untold. Like the Red X storyline, which a lot of people actually speculate that might be Jason Todd, which that could be interesting. I kind of actually thought that maybe it could be like Grant Morrison, or not Grant Morrison, Grant Wilson. Imagine if it was like just Grant Morrison. Fucking. No, I thought it'd be interesting if it was Grant Wilson, Deathstroke's son, as Red X. I thought that'd been an interesting idea. But yeah, a lot of people suggested Jason Todd, so like I could actually kind of see that, because like maybe he's like spying on like Dick Grayson, seeing what he's up to. Like maybe he's like ordered by Batman or something like that to spy on him and make sure he's not going off making sure he's not going off the deep end or whatever, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the story could be, to be honest, but. Life thing change where or not. Yeah. That's pretty much right. It was. Yeah, it was a really depressing episode, honestly. Maybe they could have brought back Tara, a little bit more if they wanted to. Because I'm not too sure, because they didn't really specify, I don't think, if that was really Tara or if it was just someone who just looked like Tara, Also could have done more with the Raven and Star and Beast Boy's relationship, and that they could have explored that a bit more. What else they could have done with the next season? Maybe bring back Trigon. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like that storyline's kind of wrapped up, but I mean, you could probably find a way to bring him back. He's a god, kind of, so he's a demon from another dimension. I'm sure he found a way to survive that. But at the same time, you kind of want to be careful with bringing back villains, because you don't want to like just cheapen up the villain's death, and because if he just comes back every now and then just to die over and over again, it kind of lessens that, kind of like Darth Maul in Disney Star Wars, where it's like he just keeps coming back to die and gets ass beat by everybody. Oh, okay. Ezra Bridge. Oh, yeah. I could definitely see him as Tim Drake then. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of see that's Tim Drake. Yeah, Slade's real face. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, definitely Kevin Conroy. Conroy is Batman. Yeah, if you ask me, perfect voice. Disney Star Wars is fucking shit. That's my thoughts on it. And there's some good things here and there, but ultimately, just what the Disney trilogy did to Luke Skywalker and the original characters is just unforgivable to me. It's like, nope. Like, and it kills my enjoyment of watching anything that takes place before it or after, because it's just like it's in the same universe, the same pocket. It's just like I don't want to see the story continue. I don't want to see the story continue knowing that Luke Skywalker, becomes a failure who turns on his family. He doesn't, or just gives up on his family, gives up on his responsibilities and stuff. Like that's not Luke Skywalker. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, you tell a story before, and it's like it makes it better. It's like, no, it doesn't. It's like it's all roads lead back to the Last Jedi, where Luke becomes a failure, who tried to kill his own nephew in his sleep, of all things. It's like Luke would never even consider, even if he did believe that he was turning to the dark side, he would at least try to confront him before. He would try to talk him out of it or something. He would never take himself to that place. Obviously in the Legends, he fought Jason Solo, but that was after, like way after he turned to the dark side and became a threat and whatnot. And obviously killed his wife and whatnot, and tortured his son and all that. Like, but like this is like Ben, but like but his nephew, he wasn't doing any of that. He was just having dark tendencies, which was very vague and didn't really explain what was going on with him, what was actually going on with Ben to like make Luke go down to that place where he would, because like he was able to bring back his father, Darth fucking Vader, who's like one of the most evil beings in the universe at that point. It's just like, so it's like he has no reason to go after him like that. It was just stupid. Exactly. He brought back Darth Vader. It's like one of the most evil beings in the universe. Oof. I think I might have gone a little too far in some places here. Yeah, it looks fine. I'll just use some yellow to kind of brighten up the grays a bit. I was thinking I did a little bit too much on the face area. But yeah. Should be fine though. Yep, Luke. To me, Luke will always be the chosen one. voice of David Kane, and I don't know who Martin Cove is, but yeah, David Kane would be a really interesting villain to see them use. He's really just kind of like a total piece of shit type character. Yeah, if you know anything about him, you know that he's someone who deserves an ass whooping. Yeah, he's a really interesting character too. You know, there's a lot. You know, because he's for those who don't know it, David Kane is Cassandra Kane, the biological father and stuff. So, and he kind of abused her. You know, so he basically trained her to not, not to speak. You know, that was kind of his because he was trying to make. I think it was so like his mission was kind of create the perfect killing machine for Ra's al Ghul. I think it was explained that he was actually training her to be one of Ra's al Ghul's lieutenants, but that didn't really. But eventually, because Cassandra Cain started to grow a conscience when she first took a life. Actually, is when she understood the meaning of death and whatnot. That kind of made her want to leave and whatnot. And eventually, she found a way to Gotham City, and she eventually led her to Batman, and she became Batgirl and whatnot. John Kreese in Karate movies. Okay. I've not seen those, so I wouldn't really. But I think someone like trying to think of a voice actor or a character's voice that kind of I could see fitting David Kane a bit. He's a very masculine type character, so I'd say someone. You know what? I think Ron Perlman, something like Ron Perlman, would be a decent fit for the character, I think. Although he worked with Deathstroke a lot in the comics, so yeah. So if you're gonna have Ron Perlman, you might as well just have him voice Deathstroke and whatnot. But like something like that, like something similar to like Ron Perlman's voice, like I don't know. Not really the best when it comes to. Probably not. If you're expecting any corporations to get any of these characters right, it's very slim. It's very slim chances of that, because there's a lot of people out there who are more interested in preaching than actually telling a good story or honoring the source material. Honestly, it's probably best just to leave the characters in the comics the way they are. The way they're more respected, at least, or at least when they were respected, not so much anymore. But I'm at the point where it's just like it's probably best that they don't touch any characters. Honestly, I'm kind of just glad they haven't even. Well, there's some characters I'm glad they haven't even touched on yet, because this is like I have no idea how they're gonna fuck it up. Yeah, and I think that most people should start becoming a bit more content with just having the original as it is, unscathed. Like some people want Mara Jade to come into the Disney Star Wars stuff. It's just like, no, you don't. Like, look what they did with Thrawn. They made Thrawn a fucking joke, and so. And they got some things right with Thrawn, but just not the same character anymore. It's very, very different character. And it's just like, do you really just want a half measure of the thing you love, or do you want the real thing, preserved properly? No, David K. Or I'm well aware of David K. Like I know the big name voice actors. There's some like smaller names I just can't remember off the top of my head. Like I know who Frank Welker is, obviously. I wouldn't be I'd be the furthest thing from a Transformers fan if I didn't know that. Like it's like I'm well aware of who a lot of the main ones are. Oh, my phone is doing weird things. Hold on. Shit. All right, should be. Can you stop? Keep plugging. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I need to get a new cord, but what was I talking about? David K. Yeah, or David K. Frank Welker. Yeah. But yeah, I actually met Frank Welker and Peter Cullen at a convention a while ago, a couple of years ago, and Greg Berger, the voice of Grimlock and Jetfire from the original cartoon. I think Peter Cullen also did the voice of Ironhide in that cartoon. He also did, I think he did Wild Rider, one of the Stunticons, but I can't remember for sure. But yeah, I'm well aware of like the big name like actors and stuff like that. Like mostly from the DC animated stuff and some from Marvel stuff, like Roger Craig Smith. I think he played Captain America for a while. And was it in Earth's Heroes, or was that or was it another cartoon he played Captain America in? But he also played like Batman and stuff, and Josh Keaton, Nathan Fillion, Fred Tatasciore, Scott McNeil. I can pull off. I just can't remember what his voice. I know the name, I just can't remember. Didn't he? Was he the one who played Robin, or in Titans, or was it someone? Because there's another Scott. I keep getting them confused. There's too many Scotts. There's Scott something who played Robin in the Titans cartoon, but then Scott McNeil, I can't remember off the top of my head what he's been in. That I've actually watched, because there's a lot of things I have not seen. So 4:48. Ooh. So I think we'll end at 5:30 my time. Yeah. So I need to get started on this background real quick. So, all right. I think I'm done with the grays for now. So I'll just grab some yellow. Oh, they are Disney? They are bringing whatever. I don't care anymore. It's like you have to really, sometimes, obviously it's not, easy to do, but yeah, I've sort of become indifferent to these Disney like I just don't care what they do moving forward. It's just not Star Wars anymore. But yeah, I have no idea how they're gonna handle Mark. And it's just like, but it's like at this point I just don't care anymore. Like if they bring in like Jaina Solo and shit for some reason from out of nowhere or whatever, like I don't think I give a shit, which they can't really do. They can't actually fucking do Jaina Solo, except it's like, where the fuck are you at this whole time when your brother's going schizo? It's like, yeah. I think an orange, yeah. I use let's go. Might be better. Oh, Scott Menville was Robin, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was Menville. Yeah. So many actors, I get them all confused. Yeah, I know like Troy Baker and whatnot and all that. Which actually, Troy Baker's actually the first actor to actually play all four Robins and Batman and the Joker and Two-Face. So, because he voiced Tim Drake in Arkham City, He voiced Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne in the Injustice game, and he voiced Jason Todd in the Arkham Knight game. So he's voiced all the Robins so far, and he voiced Batman in the Telltale games and the Lego Batman games. And I think he was Batman in the Teen Ninja Turtles game, or not the game, the Ninja Turtles versus Batman movie. I think that was him, or it was Roger Craig Smith. I can't remember which one. Which Roger Craig Smith is a good voice for Batman, actually. I really liked him in Arkham Origins. Karen Gillian is playing Jade. She might do a good job, but I just don't care anymore. So like it's in the same universe where Luke becomes a failure, and Han Solo becomes a deadbeat dad, and Leia becomes whatever fuck she becomes Mary Poppins. It's just I just don't care. I just do not care. Luckily for me, I have the Legends books, which I still need to read. I have a bunch. I've read some of it. I've obviously read the Thrawn trilogy. I've read the Jedi Academy trilogy. But I just have not had the time to go through all the Legends books. But I have a bunch. Because for an entire year, I just went around to bookstores and stuff looking for Legends novels and stuff like that. So I wanted to get into EU, but then I started this channel, which kind of then I started kind of focusing more on my art and stuff. So I couldn't really do a whole lot of reading. But this year I'm going to try and make it a point to actually do some more reading, though. Like, go back into it. Kirk Norton can do it. Ooh. Kirk Norton. I've never heard of him before, but yeah, I'd love to see an animated movie based on the Cassandra Cain Batgirl run. That'd be really, really cool. Cassandra Cain's one of those characters that would look really fucking awesome in animation. Like just the way her fighting style is. That'd be really cool to see it. That brought to animation, which I don't know if a live action can really get. That's one of the things I prefer. That's why I kind of don't really care about seeing my favorite characters brought to life. It's because animation truly is where these characters really belong to me. Like that's where they really thrive, is when they're animated. There's more you can do with the characters. There's more you can actually really show their full potential in the cartoons and stuff like that. So I'd really like to see them but that's assuming they'd actually get the character right. It's like. Which I think editorial at DC doesn't really like Cassandra Cain. That's kind of why because I think that's why they brought back Barbara Gordon in New 52. So I think Jem Lee doesn't really like the character. That's why she wasn't in Batman Hush. Yeah, so. So because they pick a good actress to play Luke Skywalker, Luke and Jade, but it's gonna sucks. Yeah. Ooh, anime. I'm not really the biggest anime fan, but that'd be kind of cool. She's a character that definitely would lend herself to, lend herself very well to anime style art or animation. So. But obviously, I would change a little bit of some things in the comic that I have in the comics. Not so much the earlier ones, but sort of more the later Batgirl Cassandra Cain comics. It kind of did a 180 on the character when they brought in a new writer, where they kind of had her become a villain for a while and stuff like that. I mean, she was drugged technically, so technically it wasn't really her, I guess. But they just did some weird stuff in that. But then her reaction to it was kind of like was really out of character, where she was trying to go after, and intending to kill like David Kane and whatnot and all them, and I guess I could see that as a first response in an emotional reaction, but not so much. I don't really see Cassandra Cain like, because she, like Batman, really does value life and is someone who really does take the no-kill rule seriously. Because she's someone who actually has taken a life, and she knows how painful it was to take the life, and how painful it is to lose someone as well. So I just don't see her being someone who would plan out, like actually go out of her, like, I mean, obviously in an emotional response, like maybe if like, I could see that maybe she gets to a point where she wants to kill him, but she refuses, like she did in the comic, but yeah, maybe. Unless it's Tressie, it's awesome. Okay. Maybe. I mean, he kind of did a lot of the DC New 52 style animated movies, but maybe he could do. I mean, he did some good work obviously before, so maybe he could do something with Cassandra Cain. But I would like to see them bring back some of the older, like Batgirl, Cassandra Cain writers to actually write the script and whatnot. All right, I better stop with Clayface Carnita because I need to go. Because in about an hour, I'm going to be not streaming with her, but I'll be playing games with Mara. So I'll get this background started, and then I can probably tidy up the rest of the figure off stream. So let's pull out some reds and some browns, some dark browns. So. Luckily, this drawing is going to be a very simple one. So only thing that will really take long for this one is just like the shadows and stuff. So we'll start with the reds. That's the more involved part of it. So let's go with this one. And that should all be shadows, so there shouldn't be many highlights. Gotcha. Okay, maybe I'll check that out. At some point, which, yeah, I'm not really good at. Because I always like put things off, so. Right. Especially more in recent days where I just don't really have time to watch like movies and cartoons as much because I'm really trying to focus on my art style, make sure I'm not slacking off or anything. So I do want to treat it as like a job. I kind of want to treat it as like, not a job in the sense that I'm just like, but in the sense that I want to actually turn this into a career at some point. That should all be red. Because shadows would cover it up. It's just. I don't really watch anime. honestly. So I wouldn't really know. I guess the Gotham Knights animated Batman movie kind of counts. So I'd make okay. Unless it's like or just like any animation in general. Like there's a lot of that animated movies I love. So kind of like considered like anime and like traditional animation like kind of separate. So kind of very very different styles of art. So I want to end at about 540, 550, something like that. So yeah, we'll go for another like 50 minutes or something. So hopefully we get the background, at least the main colors done. Probably won't be able to do all the shadows and stuff like that on here, but yeah. It's awesome. Good. A cross between Constantine. Okay. Sounds interesting. Ooh. I believe the Mandalorians were in the Old Republic stuff, I think. Although I could be wrong about that. It might have been some of the Clone Wars stuff. And I think there was a little bit more in like what was it? I think there's a lot of stuff going on with the Mandalorians in the Legacy of the Force series, but I could be wrong about that. There was like a storyline with Boba Fett in that, but I can't remember how much, to what extent. Ooh, Crimson Empire. Ooh. I have not read that, but I heard it's pretty good. I think I know the basic gist of it, but I can't. But I haven't read it personally, so I don't think they have the Crimson Empire stuff on the newer trade paperbacks they have, and it's really hard to find like a lot of older Legends comics where I live. So, and I prefer to buy them hard copy, or not hard copy, but like in person. I don't like using. I don't like buying digital comics. I like the physical thing, physical media. That's what I like. Yeah, I've played a little bit of the Old Republic game. Yeah, I think there was Mandalorians in that one, right? I played a little bit. I'm not really a PC gamer, so I kind of just haven't really touched it in a while. But I played a little bit. I think I was playing as a Jedi or something like that. Can't remember if I made a Jedi. Yeah, I think it was a Jedi. I wasn't playing as a Sith because I think I saw some gameplay of the Sith side of things. So I kind of wanted to say, yeah, let's do the Jedi stuff. I want to see something new. But I'm not really the best at those types of games, So, But I might have to get like a controller because I think those types of games are better for like controllers or something like that. Because they're a bit more of like a beat 'em up, not really a beat 'em up, but you know what I mean. But I just think that's been better for like movement and stuff like that. But whereas PC gaming is a bit better for like first person shooters because it's a little bit you have a bit more control in the way you're aiming and stuff like that. But I guess it just takes practice, to get good at PC gaming. But I'm more of a console guy, so. Although I kind of want to get into PC gaming, which I know you can actually get an Xbox like controller for your PC. So, but I kind of want to play GTA 5 with all those mods, with all the like the superhero mods, like just run around beating up hookers with Darkseid or some shit, or whatever. I love all those like little mods I do. Sometimes it's just really cool to me. I mean, it'd be the closest thing we ever get to like a really cool like superhero game is just playing around with like Green Lantern or something. Because I think there's a Green Lantern mod. I think there's like a Superman mod, Venom. So, but I have no idea how any of that works. So, not a tech whiz by any means. But if I were to get into PC gaming, that's definitely what I'd be doing. Just playing GTA 5, just for the mods. So. No, I'm not really the most familiar with like Japanese filmmaking. All right, let's throw another shade on. I'll pull the R46 into this. Yeah, I better save that actually. So probably use the R59 for that. Okay. Seven Samurai. Okay, yeah. Like my main interest is mostly in like the superhero genre. So never really been into much else aside from like Star Wars and fantasy or. But I'm very selective for what I watch. So. But I really should started getting back into other movies and stuff like that. Just like there's like so many movies that I just have not seen because it's been, I've just been really focused on my work, for the longest time now, past couple of years. So. All right, let's get the dark red out. Because this would all most likely be in shadow. Blind Samurai. No, I am not. I'm probably gonna need to refill this guy soon. So I use this guy a lot. So R59. So let's make a note of that real quick. Usually a good idea to write down, like make notes or make a list of the things that your markers that are like running low on ink and stuff, just so you know which ones to buy when you go to the art store. Right now, I'm probably just going to stock it up on the ones I use the most, like my E00s, my BG000. I use that one a lot for like chrome, like elements in a drawing. See, it kind of creates this nice, like little, almost bluish sort of tint to it, which a lot of like chrome, like, which kind of creates that kind of chrome look. Oop, and I should probably show you what I'm drawing. All right, let's get one more shade of red, and then we'll move on to the outskirts of the what's it called, drapes or whatever. Then we'll move on to the floor, which probably won't take long. It's just gonna be a very dark brown there. So. But yeah, so this one was actually requested to me by Mechany90. I should have mentioned it earlier in the video, but I went around the horn in my friend circle and kind of asked around, what villains they would want me to draw for this month. And so Riot Kitty requested Talia al Ghul, which we did the other day. And then Mads and Mara actually asked for Poison Ivy. And then Steph wanted the Riddler, which we'll be doing on Sunday. Or no, not Sunday. I think it's Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. I think it's Monday where I'll be doing that. Or no, it's on Sunday. Sunday where I'll be doing. I'll be doing it on Sunday, so I'll be the Riddler stream. See, Lethal Lightning wanted the Ventriloquist versus Scarface, so that one's going to be coming. That'll be the one after the Riddler. And obviously 3 of them were selected by me, kind of, because I was kind of already working on them before I asked around for other people's opinion. And so I already had the Bane, the Man-Bat, and the Mr. Freeze that I'll be doing last, already sort of work getting started and done this, because I started that and I was like, and because sometimes I'll like mention, like if I'm in the chat of like Mara or Steph's channel, I'll usually like mention what I'm drawing or something like that. And Steph requested me to do Riddler, and I was just like, what if I just go ask around the horn which villains I should draw and let them choose. So, and then Grumpy asked for the Condiment King originally, but then he wanted but then obviously that was kind of meant as a joke, and I was like, but then he said for real he wanted me to draw the Clock King from the animated series, and I was just like, what? I would totally have done the Condiment King. Like I love the silly Batman villains. I love all the silly ones. So yeah, I totally would have drawn the Condiment King. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just draw both of them, and it's just like then. But obviously that kind of. But then once I started drawing it, I actually got. The way I was drawing it, I kind of left some space open in the top right corner. So I was just like, let's fill it up with someone else. Let's add another villain to that mix. And so I added a Killer Moth to that drawing, which I'll be doing. I'll show off the drawing before I end the stream of the one I'll be doing on the 23rd, on Thursday. So, which will be the day before Christmas Eve, and then obviously I don't really have anything planned for the Christmas stuff because I have no idea what we're doing with family, on the family side of things. So, but I think Mac, you want to do some streams, or I sent something in the private chat out that we might be doing some like streams for Christmas. So on his channel or what else, but. I wonder how. Oh yeah, no problem, Grubby. I was actually having some internet issues earlier, so I was just like, oh shit, am I gonna be able to stream today or not? So, but I just reset everything, and everything seems to be fine. It seems to be fine for now. All right. Let me clear my voice up. Ooh, that'd be really cool though. Death battle, Samurai Jack versus Katana. Not just sure who would win that because I'm not really the most familiar with those characters, but I need to get this going. Yeah, Katana would be actually really cool if they actually added her into the Gotham Knights game that they're doing, which I'm very cautious of that game that's coming out because of some of the writers that are involved. But I mean, if the game's fun to play, then fine, I'll play it. And because I think that would be really fun to play because it's going to be Because I really hope that there's a cross-play element because I have an Xbox and Mara and Lethal all have PS4s or 5s or whatever. And so hopefully if there is a cross-play element to it, I can actually play with them because that's going to be a multiplayer type of game. So that'd be kind of cool. Obviously, I'm going to be maining Tim Drake because he's my favorite Robin. But I think Jason Todd will be a lot of fun. So, I mean, and it's possible they might add some new characters. Like, if they add Cassandra Cain, I'm definitely becoming a Cassandra Cain main in that game. Maybe Kate Kane would be kind of cool if they brought her in. If they didn't, if it's not like SJW Kate Kane from the TV show, just like normal Kate Kane from the comics. Pre-52 and pre-Rebirth comics. Although Rebirth comics they actually did a really interesting story with her in it was the Detective Comics run. They actually had a pretty decent story with her, at least in that run. I like the relationship she had with Tim Drake in that book. They had very different clashing ideologies going on there with them. So that was like one of the only. There was a couple good books in the Rebirth stuff, but eventually it was like once they brought back Bendis and Dendito, it kind of just went downhill from there. I mean, it was cool that they brought back Santa Kane, Cass Kane, but at the same time, it was kind of just like, just not really the same. Didn't really feel like the same anymore to me. So I was really attached to the relationship between, the father-daughter sort of dynamic between Bruce and Cass in the pre-52 timeline. That just kind of, I don't know, it kind of just felt cheap to me in the new series. It kind of just like, I don't know, just kind of like bring back Thrawn and the, Disney Star Wars, where it's like, yeah, they got some things right, they got some of the beats right with the character, but ultimately just isn't the same, It's not the same story, it's not the same experiences or whatever. Yeah. Victoria Grace would be good. Sandra Kane. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. Batman and Robin Eternal. I have not read it because it has Damian Wayne in it. I haven't read a lot of New 52 because a lot of the things they were doing with the characters just did not appeal to me. It didn't really. Just wasn't the DC universe to me. They got rid of a lot of characters. They made the characters a lot less like themselves, like Shazam or Captain Marvel. I call him Captain Marvel, Superman, Wonder Woman. Everything they were doing with those characters, I just did not like at all. There was some good Batman books. Some of the Green Lantern stuff was okay. I felt like that was like the strongest part of the New 52. But even then, I still had some problems with like the New Guardians book. I didn't really like that they made Sinestro part of the Justice League and started going down a redemption arc and stuff like. It's like I just didn't really see Sinestro going. I just don't really see Sinestro going down that route as a character. Nor do I think the Justice League would ever entertain the idea of having Sinestro be part of the Justice League at any point in life. It's like, no. It's like you can't trust a guy who literally waged war on fucking humanity in like the Sinestro Corps War. No, thank you. It's like, it's like there's a big ass fucking war started by him, and that almost like wiped out humanity. Like they literally brought back Superboy Prime and fucking all these things for that book, and then it's just like, yeah, we're gonna make him part of the Justice League now. It's like, okay. Okay, good. So I'm not missing out on much. So, all right. So I guess I'll leave that. I'll leave because I kind of want to make this a little bit darker, but I have to use my grays for that. So we'll move on to the stage or whatever, and then we'll probably call it a wrap after that. All right, later, Jacob. Hope you have a good rest of the day. My favorite season? Oh man, there's a lot of I don't know if I have a favorite season, because I think that both JL and Justice League Unlimited were really good shows. I kind of group it together, both Limited and Justice League, because it's basically the same show. So it's like, but my favorite episodes, I really like the Comfort and Joy, the Christmas episode they did. I really like the Star-Crossed episodes. I really love that, where they really show you who the Kents are supposed to be in the, as opposed to like the, Zack Snyder take on the Kents, which ultimately ruins Superman's character, because Superman is, if you get the Kents wrong, you get Superman wrong, essentially, because the Kents are where Clark gets his heart from. It's where Clark gets his motivations, his desire to do good in the world, comes from, is the way he was brought up by the Kents. And when you kind of turn them into, hate mongers, they think that the world is, where they only think that the world is full of people who are going to be afraid of someone like Clark. Is just no, it's like, I mean, yeah, sure, I do believe that there would be. I mean, and just the idea of just turning Superman into a realistic character just doesn't work at all. Because like, it's like this is how the world would react to Superman, but it's just like you don't know that's, it's like you don't know how the world would react to Superman because it's like we don't have a Superman in the world, so it's just like how, you're just kind of showing your ass a bit. There's Zack Snyder. You're kind of showing your own like sort of a nihilistic view of humanity there. It's like, do you really think that a lot, like if there was a guy going around saving people with all these powers and whatnot, you really think that people, like the vast majority, would be negative towards that? Like, granted, there would be, obviously, because the world is the world, but this is like, I just don't really see it being the vast majority. I think that, I think that it's a little, he blows it a little bit out of proportion there. Because I think a lot of people would most likely be championing someone like Superman if he was actually real. And obviously there would be people who fear him and stuff like that, but like, Clark doesn't let that. But like, with Clark Kent, he doesn't let that stop him from doing what's right. He doesn't like worry about what the, because he knows that what he's doing is right. What he's doing is the right thing. Who's my favorite character from Justice League? Ooh, I like, I really love Batman. I love Hawkgirl. I love Jon Stewart. Superman, they got right. I don't know. I don't know who my favorite one would be because there's so many great characters in that show. But yeah, anyways, back to my, and I guess my favorite episodes, like, were like, the Comfort and Joy episode, obviously, the Joker's Wild, or not Joker's Wild, but that's from Batman, but the Joker episode when they had where they were going to, I think we're in Las Vegas or something like that in the episode, where they're fighting the Royal Flush Gang, and I think it was the first episode with Ace in it. Like, that was a really good episode, and that was a really fun episode. I like the Better World episode. I like the whole Cadmus arc in the was it season 3? I can't remember what season. It was the one where Lex Luthor becomes Brainiac, or merges with Brainiac in that series. So I think this should be a little bit darker on the side here. I think that would make things a little bit, pop out a bit more. So actually, I think I'm gonna use copper. I think that'd be a better choice here. There's my copper at. Yeah, favorite. Ooh, he played Hawk in the Netflix series. My favorite Flash? I think I'm very much a Barry. I'm a very big fan of Wally, but I like Barry too. Mostly because I grew up on the mostly watched the animated Justice League series. That's my main sort of gateway into the Flash character. So I'm a little bit biased there, but I haven't really read a whole lot of. I haven't been really that into the Flash. So, but I probably should. I'm probably gonna go at. There's a lot of books I really need to read. I really want to read, but I just haven't really had the time for. So I'm gonna check out his Wally's run as the Flash. After Barry died and whatnot. Yeah, I loved Wally in that show. He was just fucking hilarious. And he's also really like he was very much the. I kind of considered him. No, not. I wouldn't really consider him the heart of the Justice League because I kind of think that's Martian Manhunter. But yeah, he had a lot of heart and soul in that series, though. I actually really loved the Flash and Substance episode. It's the one with the rogues in it, where they're kind of where they are making the Flash Museum, and it's kind of after the whole Cadmus arc, where where Wally almost died, killing or taking out Brainiac and Luthor. And there's a great line where there's a great moment where Batman is talking with Orion, and because Orion in this episode kind of just thinks Flash is a joke, he just doesn't take things seriously or whatever. But it's a great moment where actually Batman actually kind of sticks up for Bear or Wally. Keep getting them mixed up. But yeah, there's like a really nice line where he like kind of sticks up for Wally in that episode where he's like, it's a very subtle thing, but it's just enough to realize it tells you that Batman really does respect and care for his teammates, which a lot of more modern storylines just don't understand. Where it's like, I think there's in the scene, I think Orion was like talking to Batman. He's just like, I don't get it. All these people, praising the Flash, and whatnot. I don't understand and whatnot. And Batman just tells him, no, you don't, because Batman knows that Wally is worthy of all the praise that he's getting because he literally almost gave up his life to save it. But then he would have said that anyways because he knows that the Flash has earned his stripes. He knows that the Flash is means well and is worthy of it and whatnot. That's why I just can't really stand like Tower of Babel, like the idea that Batman would come up with all these like contingency plans to take down the Justice League in the most violent and most very brutal ways in some cases, and very fucked up ways that he came up with ways to defeat the Justice League. I just don't really see Batman being that paranoid, Oh, Lady Shiva's in the lead. Let's see that. Oh yeah, nice. Well, he's my favorite. Yeah, I know who Bart Allen is. He's not his grandson, but his like great grandson of Barry, who's kind of like from the future and stuff like that. Mostly know him from Young Justice, and yeah. And that was actually the first book, the Impulse book was actually the first book Ethan Van Sciver did for DC. So it's more of a fan of the Bruce Timm's Justice League than Grant. Yeah, I like the Justice League Unlimited more than when Greg Weisman did the Young Justice series. Yeah. Yeah, I never really saw Batman as being that paranoid in the Justice League cartoon. Like, I mean, there are some moments where he has some moments of paranoia, but ultimately he was on the side of the team. That he knew that the Justice League was meant to be. I mean, he had moments where he got a little, he had a paranoid moment in some areas here and there, like in the Doomsday episode that they did. But ultimately, he's always on the side of the team. He always sticks up for them, like in that same episode, he was like sticking up for the Justice League and why they're important and whatnot. But I don't really like when they make Batman ultra paranoid to the point where he has all these plans to kill a Justice. It's like look, maybe in his earlier days, like if he never met these guys or never fought beside them, like maybe I could see him coming up with a plan. And obviously, Justice League Unlimited Batman had been more of a reason to be a bit more paranoid because of what happened in the Better World episodes. Because he knew that the Justice League turned evil in that episode, in that timeline. So it's like it makes a bit more sense. But at the same time, he wasn't like going rogue or anything like that. he was just kind of very cautious. Yeah, I just don't. It just, I mean, obviously, I mean, it would make more sense if it was more of a early stages Batman because he doesn't really know all. If he was at the point where he didn't really know everybody very well, so I guess that would make more sense that way. But because like in the Better World episode, it's like Batman loses his cool when he thinks Barry Allen or Wally's going to die again in that episode. It's just like just shows you that he does like value their life. They're even though he can be a jerk sometimes. It's like Batman does like care about his teammates, like. Which a lot of the more recent takes on Batman of trying to make Batman like very cold and calculating, and which there's an extent to that that's true, but it's like there is a part of Batman that does genuinely care about his fellow teammates and whatnot, and because he has immense compassion and whatnot. He's a very compassionate human being, and arguably one of the most compassionate human beings in the DC universe. But more modern day takes on Batman are trying to make him darker, a bit more like the Frank Miller Batman, where he's a bit more, sadistic, a bit more brutal and whatnot, which I'm just not really a fan of. I'm not really a fan of an overly brutal Batman. I think I'm gonna make the stage a little more darker. I think some black on it would be a bit better. Just to kind of make it a little bit more different than the brown here. I think it'll just contrast a bit better. Here, start here, blacks, and we'll get a darker shade of brown going to blend that. But it's like I just kind of feel like the more modern writers just kind of forget that Batman does have a heart, and that's kind of what's sort of missing from the character in more recent days. One of my favorite episodes of the animated series actually was the Harley Quinn. I think I talked about this a little bit, but the Harley Quinn episode where she the Harley's Holiday episode where she kind of tries to become normal, and I love the Batman's role in that storyline where he's constantly because she tries to go normal, but then she's obviously brought back to being Harley very quickly actually, I might add, but. Throughout the entire episode, he's like risking his life. He's going out of his way to try and help her and whatnot, instead of not trying to fight her or anything like that. Because he knows that what happened to her, with the Joker and whatnot. So he's trying to help her and not go down the same path. Because and at the end, it's really really sweet moment between the two characters where it's like, she's like, why would you go out of your way for me? After I've caused you so much grief and whatnot, and I'm just. Simply tells her, it's like, I had a bad day once too, and I know how hard it is to rebuild a life, and whatnot. It's just like that to me has always been who Batman is. Someone who's, like just one of the most he's supposed to be one of the most compassionate beings in the DC universe to me. Maybe it may seem scary on the outside, but on the inside, he's just as compassionate, just as has as strong of a belief in humanity as Superman does. He just has to do it. But the thing that makes them different is they're mostly in their environment and their upbringings that make them a little bit different. In the way they pursue justice. But in reality, they're fighting for the same goals. At the end of the day. So. Because Gotham and Metropolis are not the same environment. Gotham is a very dark and gritty world that. Doesn't respond to Superman's kind of justice, very well. I have not read the Mask comic series. Ooh, Superman the Amazing. Definitely the world's finest 3-parter. That's definitely my favorite episode of them. I love that movie, or that 3-parter. I say movie because it was actually released as a DVD movie, and I watched that all the time when I was younger. So So yeah, that would definitely be my favorite in the Superman anime series. But I like the Metallo episode. I like the Lobo episode was fun, or episodes. The Flash episode was really cool, where Flash was just trolling him the whole time. That was good. But yeah, dreams they live. They love and hate you. Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, I have no idea if the Copa company watches me, but okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, grumpy things. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, what do I think of Brave and the Bold? I haven't seen it, so I kind of got turned off by it because a little. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad show by any means. I've seen parts of it. I've seen like the Joe Chill episode where Batman confronts him. That was pretty cool scene. But yeah, I do like. But I just couldn't really get into it. I watched a couple episodes and I just. I mean, it was definitely more of a. It was kind of more of a Silver Age or Bronze Age type Batman they were going for or whatever. Not so much because I do like the modern age Batman, but I'm more of a Silver Age animated series, a little bit of modern age type Batman fan. So. Oh my gosh, it's plugged in. So why is it saying that? All right, let's see. 5:43. Ooh, we gotta wrap this up pretty quickly because Mara's about to go live, and I want to go play some games with her. So. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I'm obviously gonna go back and I'll probably add some more shadows, like to the curtain behind him, just to make him pop out a bit more. But okay, yeah, like I said, I don't think it's a bad show. I just don't. Just there wasn't really the Batman that I was more interested in seeing. I prefer the more gothic, more detective angle for the character. But yeah, so let's pull these guys away, and yeah, there's a Clayface looking pretty good. I hope Mackie90 likes it because he requested it. Yeah, it's criminally underrated. Oh yeah. That was a good episode. Yeah, I love the dark side stuff in that series. Yeah. But yeah, I went to wind the stream down a bit, so. Okay. I like the Mr. Freeze episode. I like that one I haven't really watched too much of Batman Beyond, but yeah. But I think the Mr. Freeze one was my favorite. So, you know what? Since we're going to join Mara for some teabagging on Splitgate on her Twitch channel, which I will provide a link for. Hold up. I will, in case you want to find me, which I won't be in the actual chat or whatever because she doesn't have a Discord or whatever. But if you want to see me doing my epic teabag action in a game, you might be able to catch a glimpse of my character doing just that. Yeah, I like that because it kind of fixed his story because I didn't like the way they were doing Mr. Freeze in the fourth season where they kind of made him revert back to being a criminal when at the end of Sub-Zero he was supposed to be kind of going on a redemption type of arc, in that series. But I'll talk more about Mr. Freeze once I get to that stream. Yeah. All right, let's find. Oh my gosh, it's so slow. Hold up. full screen that. Can you not? All right, no, I'll just retweet it out. Just like follow me. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll probably just retweet the stream out, and so that's where you'll be able to find me. Hold on. If you want to see the teaming of Megatron 69, which is my screen name, yeah. So yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody who stopped by. Let me just make sure I thank everybody who showed up. Oh my gosh, this thing's slow. Let's look at my participants. There we go. Ooh, okay. Never mind. Doesn't work like that. I thought it would show like all the people that have actually been in the stream. But yeah, thanks for joining me, Grumpy, Chris, Riot. Let's see. Jacob, it's great seeing you. Dan Blackroyd. I love that screen name. Who else? Let's just see. Jacob, yeah, it's good to see you, man. And yeah, all right. Oh, and let's end the poll because I think Lady Shiva won twice in a row. Because if you were here at the beginning of the stream, you know that I accidentally ended the first poll and on a win with Lady Shiva, and she comes back for a double win here. Oh, who's my favorite Batman villain? It's Mr. Freeze. Like you'll be seeing. So yeah. Oh wait, I forgot the eyes. Hold on. God damn it. I forgot to give him his yellow eyes. All right. Well, I'll fix them up later. So I got to get going now. So, yeah. So I'll show off. Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's call it a wrap. And tomorrow and before I go, I have to remind you, I might be doing a gaming stream. Tomorrow I'll probably be playing some Splitgate because I want to try and it's mostly going to be a test stream just because I'm trying out different things here. So I'm going to see how I like because I'm going to be using a StreamYard, so I haven't really decided if it's going to be the thing I'm going to be using most of the time. And well, we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be. I think I put it for like 1:00 Mountain Standard Time. So that's when I'll be going live to play some games for probably about an hour or so. Yeah, those are some great villains, Grumpy. But yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then obviously on Thursday I will be coloring. Oh wait, I forgot. I promised to show this. So yeah, we'll be coloring the Three Stooges of Gotham. We got Clock King, we got Condiment King, and we got Killer Moth. So we'll be coloring all three of these guys tomorrow. So yeah, and then after that, I think it's the Riddler. I think the Riddler's next after this. So yeah, there's Clayface, and let's find. Oh yeah. I will. So yeah, let's find a clip to end this off. All right, let's do this one. All right, later, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
God damn it! God damn it!
Game over.
I was trying to... Darth Megatron, you were teabagging me. What the... Oh! Oh, you... Were you teabagging? Were you teabagging him, Megatron? Because all I see through this scope is teabagging, and you go down.
No further questions.
Your Honor, can I say something?
You may.
You know, those people, ones that put down people like...
Teabagged.
I want you to know that I do it all again. This is a circus, all right? It's a charade, it's an act. It's bullshit about how crazy I am. I ain't crazy. I'm not crazy, okay? I know what I did. I know who I am. And I do not need your help. I'm smack dab in the middle of my right goddamn mind, and any scumbag, any lowlife, any
camping
piece of shit that I
teabag
did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm sitting here, I'm just itching. I'm itching to do it again. And you think, what? You think you're gonna send me to a nut house? Some doctor, they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch. You people who call me
the Teabag King, the Big Dick Teabag King.
Here I am. You want it? Remove the witness.
I am the Teabag King.
I'm right here. You want it? I'll give it to you. And anybody who came here today, hear me whine, hear me beg, hear me kiss my ass. You hear me? I'm guilty. I plead, Judge. I'm guilty. You hear me? I'm guilty.
I'll teabag every one of them. I'll teabag every single one.
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.